Gender is not an issue here.
Being reprimanded for being a woman, okay?
Subhanallah.
Where does this happen?
What does sexual assault really mean? It's so vague.
That's actually a good point. We're not going to say everybody's lying, but you also have to be careful of that component that the people do lie.
I would hate for your sons to watch this. I would hate for, you know what I mean, your husband to watch anything like this. That's why the consent theory is an evil theory. It doesn't exist, or it doesn't come to the standard of a mu'min. It's against Islam. It has no foundation or basis for our deen. It's whether you consent to something haram or not, it's insignificant. So you're gonna hear a lot of these men. Men are doing this. Men are doing that. That's exactly what these feminists, these secularists, these liberals, they want to play this divide and conquer using identity politics.
But to say I'm a second-class citizen, I don't even know like how you even came to that conclusion. They're already misguided. They're already misguided. They're already misguided. They're already misguided.
Our entire video was dedicated to acknowledging the plight of sexual assault survivors. Our entire video was centered on closing the gender gap in religious centers. Our conversation was a call to action to hire more qualified women, as there is not nearly enough. We advocate for equal resources and programming to be distributed amongst men and women, as women too are entitled to access and education. Our short film was about allowing love to flourish in the house of God, as it was originally intended to be. It is our mission to eliminate shame culture, as God's way is one paved in love.
We do and still hold leadership and teachers accountable for ostracizing the marginalized. Understand that this message is not tailored for all, but if the shoe fits. We realize that these crippling issues have been formulated by humans, as our religion was sent down perfect. We are sending warmth, love, and light to sheikhs, sheikhats, imams, ma'alins that are getting it right. But we are not here to challenge the positive. We are raising the bar by demanding more for the individuals that are often overlooked in these spaces. We are calling for Duxi reform. We aspire to further the holistic education of Muslims alike. We acknowledge that there has been tangible progress, but there is always more room for improvement. And that's what we're here to do.
We are saying no.
We are saying no.
We are saying no. We are saying hell no to religious leaders preaching cultural propaganda and disguising it as religion.
To the history that has continuously taught women to appease men.
To cultural concepts that force women to silence their voices.
dumarka iyaga hadlaya dhegeyso sababtoo ah afjooga looma adeego.
It's an odd notion to ask us to quiet down.
It is a bizarre sentiment to suggest that by advocating for safer and more inclusive spaces, we're denouncing our religion as a whole.
But isn't this what God commanded us to do?
Protect the vulnerable.
Preach inclusivity.
Believe the afflicted.
Seek equity for everyone regardless of how they identify.
Over 3 hours of footage you produced, yet you chose to police our rhetoric instead of the men committing these crimes.
Over 3 hours of opportunity, yet you chose to discuss why women should wear socks.
Over 180 minutes, yet you chose to speak about how feminist ideologies are polluting our minds.
10,800 seconds that you used to blindly claim gender discrimination does not happen in religious spaces.
You are not a woman.
We will not be shamed into silence.
We yelled rape, hate, discrimination. We ultimately said help. You titled your video Reaction to Sexual Assault and Discrimination, but you didn't react or address either of those things.
We hope you got the views that you wanted, as it is clear that you had the initial intention to misunderstand, to discredit, and to dismiss.
And you wonder why our conversation was so gender heavy.
You ask why we were continuously fixated on men.
You stated this isn't a women's or men issue.
Like you weren't two men trying to discredit 6 women.
Like you weren't 2 men in a long line of misogyny trying to tell us who we are.
2 men discrediting our experiences.
That our thoughts and feelings don't matter.
That our minds and our words don't matter.
That women don't matter.
That we don't matter.
We are addressing your shameful attempt to gaslight us. You tried to paint us in red. You twisted our words.
But you cannot misconstrue our message. Despite what you thought, you had no power here.
We're claiming our space and standing unapologetically in our truths.
We will not cower to you or your lies or your pretenses, and we will not stoop to your level.
You will not shame us into silence. We are also addressing our community. The conversation is now much bigger than us.
We love our dhaqan. We celebrate the many beautiful qualities that accompany being Somali, all the beautiful traditions. Needless to say, we would die for our country, our culture, and our people.
We're especially challenging ideas that are outdated, unfair, and oppressive to women.
We love our Somali men. You are our fathers, our brothers, our sons.
But we need you to protect us in more ways than using your fists in defense of our bodies.
The time is now
to lay outdated thoughts and practices to rest.
You will not shame us into silence.
You will not shame us into silence. We are saying fuck you to the individuals and structures that tell us to forego the conversation of sexual harassment and assault. This is a space for the screams that are silenced. We hear you. We believe you. And we stand with you.
This is a space for survivors.
This is a sanctuary for women who are hurting and healing.
We are opposing cultural concepts that teach women to be submissive.
This footage is for every woman who has ever been spoken over.
We are saying no more excuses.
No more excuses.
This is a space for every little girl that wants to find her voice. Your voice has power. Your story has power. And we are here to amplify it.
We are saying no to victim blaming,
We are saying hell no to victim blaming.
to sexism, discrimination, and all gender biases. This is a safe space for every woman who has been falsely told that this is a man's world.
This is for every woman that has been made to feel like she's too loud, too assertive, too much of a bitch.
We announce that this is a space where we believe women, always. Where we protect women, where we uplift women.
You will not shame us into silence.
You will not shame us into silence.
We will not be shamed into silence.
My undying love and admiration remain with the entire Somali community, my brothers and sisters in humanity despite our religious differences. Now we are addressing the world. This video is for every woman across the globe, regardless of race, religion, or culture. This is for every woman who has been made to feel small, inadequate, or wrong simply for being her most authentic self. This is for women like you and me who have been beaten up and torn down in every possible way. For us victims, for us survivors, and for us fighters. This is for us warriors who stand up no matter how hard they try to dismantle the institution of womanhood that is beauty, strength, and grace. We stand up no matter how much they try to diminish us to rubble and dust. We stand up through the fire and through the storm. We stand up and grow taller with every crashing wave. We stand up and we are temples and vessels of glorious outpourings. We stand up and pave the way for those yet to come. We are dignity, resilience, and intellect. We are your sweetest dreams and your worst nightmares. We are Tubmans and Cleopatras and Bridges and Antonys and Gouges and Walkers and Dickinsons and Nightingales and Chisholms and Ocasio-Cortezes and Obamas and Sacagaweas, and we are amazing. We are valuable and important, and we are alive and thriving in a society that wants so desperately to dim our light. But we stand up, stronger and better. We stand up, bigger and brighter. We stand up and we are more and more powerful each time. See, because when we stand up, we are limitless. They can never keep us down. And that is what they're most afraid of.